with my background, having been around drugs, I have a pretty good idea of how to attack a drug problem. So that's it.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Margaret Ann Heflin Bailey, and I'm a candidate for Clarksburg City Council. First, let me tell you one thing that I feel you need to know. Something you already know. And that is that local government is the very most important part of government in your life. You think, oh no, the federal government must be the most important thing because that's the president, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, and they make laws. But no. Well, maybe it's the state. They make laws and they do all kinds of things there that affect us. No. But the city government. The city government is the one that controls your day from the time you get up in the morning and turn on that water faucet until the time you go to bed at night. And you've had the protection and safety of the police department and the fire department and roads to drive on, even though they're still full of potholes. You've had communications free within your city. You've had utilities. You've had schools. You've had the kinds of things that affect your life day to day. Local government is indeed the form of government that touches everybody's life the most as they live throughout the days. Previously, I've served 4 terms on Clarksburg City Council. I have served as councilwoman, vice mayor, and mayor. 2011, I was very, very honored to be selected as the West Virginia Municipal League Mayor of the Year. I'm very happy about that. 2 children, 2 grandchildren.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Standing up when the time goes.
Thank you, Darcy.
Hi, my name is Gary Bowden. I'm serving on council presently. I was elected about 3.5 years ago. I've been a resident of the Clarksburg community in West Virginia for a little over 40 years. I've always felt it's important to give back to the community. I've served as chairman of the United Way campaign here. I've been involved with the Chamber of Commerce, many other local nonprofits, and just felt it was important to continue to do something for our city. At the time I was elected and I was approached to run for a position on city council, it was felt that some of our leadership was not as strong as it could be. They wanted some people that could think through problems, come up with new ideas, and solve some issues that have affected our city. So I felt it would be something that I would be good at. I've been in leadership positions before. I saw a need to work to develop Clarksburg through safety, which is very important. We do have a serious drug problem, and we need to address that. I think we have infrastructure issues. Both of those have been touched on already. We need to deal with those. And we have problems whereby we need to try to bring back more jobs. This area probably had twice as many residents long before I moved here as it does today. And we'd like to, at the city level, help as best we can, working with the state and federal officials to see if we can develop this area economically and provide more jobs. So for all of those reasons, I want to continue to serve. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do on City Council. I've enjoyed it, and I hope to serve for 4 more years.
Thank you.
I'm Curtis Edwards. I've lived here in Clarksburg all my life. I am heavily invested in Clarksburg. The first house I built right out of college was in Glen Elfin. The second house was in Staley. Our business, we took our business and took the old Southern Pine Lumber Company, revitalized that as a new gateway into Broadway, and Broadway has improved from there. The questions that are important here tonight are from the voters, and all voters should understand. You need to look before you decide who's going to run this business known as Clarksburg. You need to look at their body of work. What have they done all their life? Do they have any business experience? Have they ever hired or fired anybody? Have they actually sat in an interview? Have they had to make tough decisions? You can talk about leadership till the cows come home, but if you don't have a backbone, that's not leadership. You have to be able to make a decision and stand by it. I've been in business nearly all of my life, prior to that teaching and coaching in the county. I've always been involved with kids, love kids. There are problems. I am part of the solution and have been. My wife and I formed a couple of years ago, the 501c3 to address the terrible issue of the high school dropout epidemic, and that it is. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm putting my efforts where the problems are. I would like to be a part of City Council. I am not a part of any group. No one's back. backing me. I have the support financially of no one. I do not owe anybody any favors. Nobody owes me any favors. I am an independent thinker, and I'm here solely for all of you, and I am open. Well, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm going to listen a lot to what you have to say. Thank you.
Yes, my name's Nathan Herrick. I have 2 kids. I'm a single dad. Daughter's 11-year-old. My son is 6 years old. I ran the largest single health business in Harrison County for 8 years. When we started, we were doing cash advances on credit cards, and when I left, we were grossing $5 million. I know how to handle money, and I know Clarksburg doesn't. Our budget is $21 million. It's the same as Morgantown's. Close. Morgantown's $23 million. Does anybody think that's right? Our infrastructure is crumbling around us. Where's the money at? I have made a name for myself as a corruption fighter in Clarksburg. I have put my very family on the line fighting corruption in Clarksburg. And I've made a point, if you are corrupt, you need to resign or you need to quit. And we're going to keep cleaning up corruption, win, lose, or draw on this election because Clarksburg needs help. We need a change, and I believe I have the business sense and the moral character. You know, just as he said, I have no connections. I've taken no money from anyone. And there's a reason for that. I don't want tied to anyone because we are going to change Clarksburg. We're going to get rid of the factions. We're going to get rid of the favors and the corruption. We're going to open government. Transparent government is what we need. We must have open, available government for the people.
Thank you. By the way, the mayor was invited this evening and chose not to come. Secondly, would you please, if you have cell phones with you, not to embarrass anyone, want to make sure that they're silenced. Not to embarrass anyone. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
My name is Sean Jeju. Currently, I'm a community organizer. I've worked off and on over the last couple of years, spearheading a historic restoration and caretaking of the former Oddfellow Cemetery over on South Chestnut Street. I have a background. Currently, I'm employed with Sheets, which is a multi-state company. I'm assistant manager over there, so I have experience hiring, firing, budgets, inventory ordering, all that kind of fun stuff. By all rights, I pretty much run the store when the store manager is out for vacations and stuff. The reason I'm running for council is because I feel that there's a, lack of a better word, bad taste in citizens' mouths. That the current council has a perceived history of corruption, mismanagement, budgetary issues, crumbling infrastructure. I mean, I don't know how many times you hit a pothole and you got to get out and check it because your tires are all screwed up and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative here, but it gets kind of tiresome. And the excuse that, you know, they're state roads. Okay, yeah, they're state roads, that's fine. But, you know, you got another city, Bridgeport, that has this partnership with the state to actually get their roads fixed. And I'm tired of the excuses as a citizen. I mean, I'm not, you know, it's kind of annoying here. But I try to be a...
Thank you. Sorry.
2 minutes, Miss.
You go fast.
Hi, I'm Justine Scott Marino, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mom, and I'm also a small business owner. And I think most of you know, or a lot of you know, that my husband's worked in the city for 30 years. So that's something that I wanted to address with you. I think the turnout tonight speaks volumes that we have a problem in our city, and it needs to be addressed. And we all see things spiraling downward. So I would like, that's why I want to run. I want to run because I'm honest, and I have courage. And I think that a lot of the people that we have on council right now, not that they're not good people, but it takes courage to have leadership. And that's something that's really lacking at this point, is honesty and courage. So I'm here tonight, unlike some people, to open myself up to whatever question. Nothing is to represent you on council and be a voice for you. So nothing that I have is to hide. My husband works at the city. He's been there 30 years. And for me, I don't know if you'll see it this way or not, but the way I feel about that is it gives me insight into how the city government works. And I have an insider's perspective that a lot of people do not have. And I see the political wranglings and the maneuvering. And that's going to allow me to get around the learning curve that a lot of new candidates face. So all I ask is that you listen to what I have to say, ask me whatever you want. I'm an open book. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Martin Schaefer. I'm a local businessman. I've been in business all my life, local resident. I've been here all my life. I served on council from 2007 to 2011. During that time, I exposed some of the problems that we're still facing today. And nobody addressed it because council didn't have the courage to address it. And it's unfortunate that we're still in this situation today. But I'm hoping to return as council, and I will be honest. I will show you the courage and leadership that I had in 2007 to 11. And if you don't mind, for the rest of my time, I would like to lead us in a prayer. Dear Lord,
This is a public building. You can't do that.
yes, I can.
That's against the First Amendment.
I'll take that chance.
Well, you're going to take it.
Okay, I want to say a prayer for the Lord to look us over, guide all of these candidates today into a good campaign, and whoever wins to do what's best for the community. And I'd also like to make a special mention to my cousin Bobby Minyard, who died last night. And I thank you for all praying with me today. Thank you.
First of all, I will respect Martin. God back and everything, especially in schools. So thank you, Martin. My name is Chad Sigmund, and I'm running for the election to be a proud member of the City Council. I was born and raised here in Clarksburg. I attended Morgan Grade School, Central Junior High, Washington Irving High School. I attended Marshall University most of my college career and graduated from Paramount State University. In 2013, I ran and walked across the United States. I started my journey in Jacksonville, Florida, and finished my journey in San Diego, California. I traveled by foot over 2,500 miles for mental health awareness. Upon my return, I was a keynote speaker at the Clarksburg Highland Hospital. You can read about my journey at www.runchad.com. I'm running because I want to be a positive proponent of change in the neighborhoods that help shape me. I want to see our neighborhoods clean and safe for the residents, and to once again be the type of town that my friends and I had the privilege of growing up in. My goal is to bring fresh ideas and be the voice of the people of the City Council. It is my goal to give this city back to what it was and what I know it can be. I was approached because individuals that know me, will be, first of all, tell you I'll be listening a lot. I've never ran for politics before. There's a lot I need to learn. So excuse me if I'll be listening. A lot of times I'll have to get myself maybe a little bit more familiar with the issue, but I'll make sure I'll get the correct response. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The first question is to everyone. Given the police chief's resignation, the mayor arrest and guilty plea, the Centra scandals, and ever-increasing charges against code enforcement, citizens' trust in local government is very low. A political scientist from WVU believes the Centra levy could fail unless specific steps are taken to restore trust. What specific steps have you or would you take to restore citizens' faith in Clarksburg city government? Wow, you guys have interesting stuff going on. But in any case, this is open to everyone to address, or you can choose not to address this question. By a show of hand, please let me know who would like to address this question.
Could you please repeat the beginning of the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Given the police chief resignation, the mayor arrested and his guilty plea, the Centra scandals and ever-increasing charges against code enforcement, citizen trust in local government is very low. A political scientist from WVU believes the Centra levy could fail unless specific steps are taken to restore trust. What specific steps have you taken or would you take to restore trust in local Clarksburg government? All righty.
The first steps are being taken tonight. Folks are finally aware that there are problems. Those problems didn't pop up yesterday. They're not going to go away tomorrow, but it is going to take the type of council that's going to be able to articulate what you all think and feel as to these problems. I'm not going to go back and address Mario's problems, the police chief, or anything. Those are things that are in the past. You have to look now, and anybody who wants to sit on the outside right now and pass judgment without being on the inside and being privy to the details, as you would be on city council, then once you're on city council, you can't do that. If you're passing judgment now on any individual or any group of people, you seem to be doing that for political reasons. But if you're inside and you're willing to listen and act on the facts as you have them, and be willing to have the courage and the leadership, then you're going to make changes if necessary. Right now, with Jim Smith conducting the audit through Centra, I think that's in good hands. I think you have to peel back all the layers, and that's going to require some time. So sometimes people get frustrated they don't get answers right now. That doesn't happen that way. But I think the first steps are being taken because you all have to be the one to tell your friends and your neighbors and your family to get more involved. Because I wish we had an absolute full auditorium, a huge auditorium, and I'm glad we have a full house tonight. But those steps need to be taken one at a time by a council that you all put in place that you fully trust.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes.
Okay, first off, Richard Nixon said people deserve the right to know if their president's a crook. In this case, people deserve the right to know that the government isn't a crook. Okay? We had numerous crooks on the Central Board, and I think we proved it. When I said 2 years ago that John Amon was a crook, I got attacked. Okay? Where's John Amon right now? Does anybody know? He's in prison. Okay? People have to trust their government, and unless we get open, transparent government in the city building, they will never trust our government. I've said this for 3 years. Unless we put them in front of a camera, people will not trust them. Okay? We still are continuing to go after corruption. If you watch our political group, you will see exactly what's going on. We do it every day. I've dedicated my life to cleaning up the politics in Clarksburg, and the reason why is because I could not even operate a business in the city of Clarksburg without being touched by corruption almost every day. I do not know how the business owners do it right now. I don't know how they do it. And I commend every business owner that's doing it right now. And as far as the levy goes, once we clean up corruption, once we open government, and people see what is going on, if people could watch the meeting. By the way, the Central meeting
I'm
is
sorry,
the
your time
23rd at 4.
I'm going to say that I radically disagree with Mr. Edwards because you shouldn't have to be on council to know what's going on the inside. There shouldn't be an inside and an outside. That's the problem. That's where transparency lies. You put it out there, you do everything openly, you don't have secret meetings at the mayor's house, you conduct your business. This is our government. This belongs to us, everyone, not just city council members. You've got to elect people that are willing to step up and say, we're putting it all out there. Like Nathan said, I think that it's a very good idea for us to transmit or publicize our meetings so people can watch, people that can't come. Those are steps. Voting the right people in who are willing to be honest and put it all out there, inside or out. There is no inside or out. This is all of us in it together.
things like moral turpitude. That's too much of a vague gray area. I mean, specifics. And then you have ordinances that you go to a council meeting and it's like right down the line, even after a public hearing where people have kind of spoken against what they're about to vote yay on. And it's like nobody listens. And that's not a conducive government. That's kind of, to me, portrays an authoritative regime of this is what you're going to do, whether you like it or not. Where's the people's voice? I mean, are we not the ones that put them in the office? Should we not have a voice?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You know, when I was on the council, I served on the National League of Cities Public Engagement Committee. And what that is all about is that to run an effective city government, you have to have public engagement, like we're having right here today. This is the start. First step is to elect new council members. Okay? The second step is settle with the Attorney General's office, let them have the hearing on the Code Enforcement Office, and whatever they say goes. You know, we're covering up this problem with code enforcement by stalling the hearing that was supposed to be held last year. But we're paying lawyers to fight that because we're not for public. Our council today is not for public transparency. I tried to get them to have televised meetings so that people could sit from home and watch it at their convenience. They wouldn't do it. Everybody else is doing it, but we're not doing it. They don't want you to hear because they don't want to hear a dissenting council person. They want to all say, you got to vote 7-0 on everything. Well, no, we don't. And when I was on council, one of the things that was always said is, well, it's not our job to investigate citizens' complaints. When I heard the complaints and I looked into them and I brought them back to council, they told me over and over and over again, this isn't your job. Your job is to sit there on council meeting and vote yes on the resolutions. I said, you can replace me with an easy button from Staples if that's what you want.
Thank you very much.
That question has a lot to it. But what I think is, when the people decide, there's going to be 3 council women, men, who are going to be 3 council people, whether it's incumbents or it's 3 new ones. The citizens are going to take a chance on somebody. So first of all, we're going to have 3 people in there. So once we get 3 people in there, in order to tell somebody's honest, you have to go by their actions. And before you get to their actions, that person has to listen to the community. So once you get to citizens' concerns, you have to act on those actions. And that's where the honesty comes in. If any of us can go out and make a million promises, but you know, my promises, or anybody, it's your actions on what the community says. So we have to be there for the community because as council people, we will be there for the community, not for our own personal agendas. This is what the community wants. So if you're out in the community and you're getting the community concerns, you're addressing those concerns, and if you're that has to be part of your integrity and / your performance. So that's where your honesty and your trust comes in. If you're doing what the people want you to do.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to